So expanding on that, as you move into different countries, each country kind of has its own, I guess, outlook or perception on text messaging. Does it, interfere personal space? How many do you get? Like you talked about nudging you to move in different directions, different activities. So how do you categorize and manage deploying this technology to the various different types of countries?
Right. So what we've had to do, a lot of our innovation, frankly, is around compliance and regulation. And as we know, there's kind of two different streams or three different streams of regulation that are in flux globally that impact us. So one set of regulations is around consumer protection, right? So in the US, we talk about TCPA, and then certain states such as California have launched their own specific and fairly assertive consumer protection acts around digital channels. And so on the one hand, when you're using the mobile channel, the irony is it's the easiest way to reach people, but in healthcare, it's the hardest channel to use. And I think that's the friction we have in the healthcare space. Everybody wants to receive text, but when you look at TCPA, California's evolving law, which is setting a benchmark for the country, and then everything going on with privacy and security, like actually the phone number might be the most personal piece of digital information that someone holds. So that gets really interesting. So even though everybody wants to be reached there, the regulation creates a barrier. Then that intersects with HIPAA, right? And so then we've got HIPAA, which is the other overlaying regulatory framework. And then if you look at Europe, you've got GDPR. And GDPR is really even the framework that people think everyone's going to move towards globally, which really puts individuals in the center of controlling their information, who can access it, who could use it for what, which in principle sounds practical, but in terms of implementing that from a tech view becomes very complicated. So what we've done is we've abstracted all of that into general privacy principles. So if you look at these regulations globally, there are general principles that apply. And if you can embed that underneath your technology, then based on the jurisdiction you go into, you can apply those specific rules. And it requires a bit of sophistication, but it's the type of way we've been able to build our stack and how we approach looking at each country.